This episode of the Forward Compatible Podcast has been presented by GamersGather.com. Hello and welcome once again to the Forward Compatible Podcast. This is episode 138. Fuck, I forgot the rest of the show.
My name is Tony. I'm joined by my fellow podcaster, Jason. How's it going, guys?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Let's go with that. Yeah.
We're going to kick off our show with our weekly roundtable and catch everybody up on what we've been playing since the last time we spoke.
We all spoke, but yes, very close, very close. You've only heard it 137 times.
Like, how often do I do
I hate your face.
that?
No, the other part, good stuff though. You going first or shall I?
Well, since I introed it, why don't you go first?
Cool. So I've been on quite the Forza kick the last week or so. Been playing not only Forza 5, but also Horizon 2, because luckily one of the news topics, which I'll get into later. Anyway, on the Xbox One, Forza has something that's called the Forza Hub, which is really similar to, if anybody out there plays Halo, how they made the Halo channel, which is like that add-on app that has a lot of extra content and whatnot. And the Forza Hub's really cool because they give you free money, essentially, for using it a little bit. And also when stuff gets announced. And you get free cars.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't mean to coach. I've had Forza. I got it 2 weeks after it launched. Never looked at that hub. Damn.
Forza Horizon?
Oh, Horizon.
Not 5. It's backwards compatible, but it didn't launch till Forza Horizon 2 came out.
Okay. Gotcha.
So anyway, cumulative, they've given me away like maybe $10 million across both games and a ton of free cars and everything. So I've been kind of going on like buying sprees, and they keep giving me more and more money. I've been playing them and leveling up. It's great. That all ties into one of the news stories, so I'll save it for a little bit later. And aside from that, I had a big gaming session with one of our viewers, our bullshit checker, Andrew Dillon. Him and I, a couple days ago, I don't remember exactly what day, we've been playing
Friday? 2 days?
Far Cry 4. We sat down, like, it started off like, hey, let's do a couple missions. We seriously played for like 6-7 straight hours.
Nice.
It was ridiculous. We knocked out a bunch of stuff. We're playing all the co-op stuff.
Yeah, I had sent him a message a couple weeks back because I saw him playing. And no offense to Tony, I respect Tony's opinion for games, but once in a while I prefer an outside opinion. So I asked him, I was like, hey, Andrew, what do you think of it? How is it? I've never been really big into Far Cry. So he's like, yeah, dude, I'm loving it. It's great. You should get it so we can play together. Still haven't. I don't know if that's really my thing or not. But yeah, I don't generally read news sites. For reviews. I ask my friends.
Far Cry, since we brought it up, it's essentially an open world-ish game where you can pretty much do whatever you want, almost like a Grand Theft Auto. Mm-hmm. But it's not as crazy and over the top with like the heists and the actual missions where like, hey, break into this bank and then skydive off of a 800-story skyscraper. You don't get that kind of crazy stuff. You're in a jungle, and
you're in the jungle, baby.
And so like the missions are more like down to earth, but it is cool. I mean, there's like the hunting missions are a lot of fun because you have to like kill some like really exotic game to like.
I've watched a lot of videos of the hawks and shit attacking people.
Oh, the hawks are terrible. But there's like a lot of like you gotta like hunt down Bengal tigers and stuff like that you never have to do in any video game. So it's kind of something cool. Mm-hmm. And I severely doubt anyone out there. I know I haven't, but maybe one of you have. But I don't think anybody's hunted one in real life. So this is the closest.
Deer.
Yeah, these are like cool animals.
What about a squirrel?
Like no, like spotted.
I shot a squirrel.
Like spotted leopards.
I was hunting.
No,
we ate him.
Daryl Dixon style.
A duck?
Squirrel. No, these are like crazy animals, like Bengal tigers and spotted leopards.
I gotcha.
Shit like that. And anyway, you got to use their skins for You know, to
camouflage?
craft.
I was going to say, is it like camouflage?
No, to like
in
craft.
Metal Gear 3?
No. It's like to craft bigger wallets and like ammo capacity, and that's how you like upgrade.
Okay.
So you gotta like, and those just have nothing to do with anything. Like you don't even have to hunt, but it makes your life a little easier when you carry more loot items and whatnot. And it's got a lot of looting, a lot of treasure chests and stuff all the way around. You can rob all the enemies after you kill them, so they drop like hysterical things like used condoms and stuff, and they're like worth money. And like a 70s porn mag, and this is the kind of stuff you steal off people that you've killed. And big, beautiful world. I'm playing it on PS4. I don't know how it looks on the other systems, but really, really gorgeous. Just the elevation changes have me in awe because even like up until recently, like the most up and down I can think of last gen was probably like Uncharted and Skyrim. And there are some up and downs, but it's not crazy. Like this, the elevation... and Grand Theft Auto's had a lot of elevation changes. But the Far Cry's obscene. I know it like doesn't sound cool, but like the technical aspect of it is amazing where the map is like you're playing on what would be considered like sea level, and you can walk literally miles high and everything in between with all the mountains and everything.
Yeah.
And there's and it's not just like, oh, let me just walk up this mountain and say I did it. No, there's like a whole part of the game up there. You know what I mean? So like the elevation changes are obscene. There's like wingsuits and
The little helicopter thing.
Yeah, and like there's big helicopters you can get, and the jeeps and buggies and all that stuff. And then there's those hang gliders. You know, 'cause sometimes you're beating a level up here all the way on this hilltop or whatever, and then you got to zip line down. So,
and another cool aspect for the PS4 version is the friend share thing.
Yes.
Whatever it's called, which is probably what I'll do. Tony here has got roughly
nine more passes.
Yeah, 9 more passes, 2 hours apiece.
Yeah, they're called the keys to Karat.
About 18 hours worth of gameplay there. So I'll probably end up grabbing one from him and trying it out with him that way. And that's a really smart business model to like get your friends to demo the game for you. You know what I mean?
It worked for me because they gave me 10. I gave one to my best friend, and he liked it so much, and he's like, oh, I'm just going to go out and get this. And then he got it. And now we play the regular way. So they made $60 that they weren't going to make by giving these little keys away. So very, very good business model.
Cool.
And besides that, what else did I do? Oh, I played this, what the hell's that game called? Fibbage. So I played this with all these guys. We were over here a couple days ago, or yesterday. Jesus, I have no
Concept of time?
No. And that's like this little, like, something comes up and it's like, there's like a blank. So it'll be like, John F. Kennedy's favorite color of tie is, and it's blank. And then there's like 8 of us playing. So everybody fills in a lie.
So I said shit brown.
Yeah. And whoever, and essentially the point is to try to make your lie so good that people guess it and you get points off that. And everybody's lying.
And then the one right answer is in there.
Yeah. And if you get
points
that,
for selecting that, It's made by Jackbox.
the guys who did, you don't
know Jack, which are Chicago based.
Oh, are they?
They are. They're from here. Yeah. Really cool. If you have Xbox One, it's on that as the Jackbox collection. It's $25. You get 5 games. Depending on when I get this video out, it's on sale right now for $16.49 for all 5 games. Again, that could be over by now, by the time this airs. On the flip side, on PlayStation 4, I've bought it twice. On PlayStation 4, they have Fibbage alone for $7.
Okay.
So I bought the $25 bundle
and the $7
one so that I could have it. I have it on my Xbox One if I ever take that anywhere, and then I've got it on my PS4, which I keep down here in the store.
Yes.
Love it.
And I did play one other game on the Vita, and the name is escaping me.
You played the new Fat Princess.
Final Horizon. Yes, and Fat Princess, and I'll talk about that too. Final Horizon. This was a free game last month, I want to say. And it's it works really, really well for the Vita. It's bite-sized tower defense. So you don't have to sit there and get the first tower with the one guy weekly walking by, and then you save up enough money to buy second tower. Now 3 guys are walking at you, and it turns into this big 45 or 50-minute ordeal. And those are great. I like tower defense. But this one, it throws you in these little bite-sized 10-minute missions where, like, it's already half set up, and the enemies are already coming.
So it's like a scenario.
Yeah, and then it's like, it's already, like, in the middle of the battle, and that's like, okay, take over, and this tower's about to like explode, so right away the first thing you gotta do is repair that, and then there's an empty spot over here and get this, and then the enemy still gets stronger and stronger and stronger, but it only lasts like 10 minutes, and then you move on to the next planet or section or whatever. And I'm actually stuck on, there's 3 acts, because I like just tore through that game. It was a lot of fun, but it's also kind of short. And there's 3 acts, so I'm on the 3rd act, and I'm stuck like 3/4 of the way through it. So I'm a little upset. And I cannot beat this level. It is stupid hard. Because you're not allowed to take any damage. And the level starts off with like 7 enemies right around the reactor that can't take any damage. And it's just like... So I'm trying all these new things. I'm like, all right, let me try the first tower here. But then the guy over here kills it. So it's like, let's try this one. But then the guy over here kills it. It's like, I don't know, man. So I got upset.
Fat Princess.
Through my Vita. Fat Princess. That's the new free game. And
it's not the traditional Fat Princess.
No. But if you play it up to level 15, you unlock Fat Princess for free on your PS3.
Yeah.
It's a public service announcement.
Yep.
And Fat Princess on the PS3 is hysterical and awesome. This game's actually pretty good for a dumb little phone game.
Essentially, it's Candy Crush.
Is it?
Yeah. That's what Candy Crush is. Just like columns, just like everything else.
I was going to say it's like columns.
You match up to 3, and that's it. That's what these things are.
Yeah, I like the little thing going on the side and the little princess dancing. Yeah. I played it for like 5-10 minutes. Yeah, it was pretty funny. But then I got whatever with it. Also, I'm having problems with my Vita. I got a launch day Vita, if you guys remember, and my little...
Episode 2.5.
Yeah.
Of the Forward Compatiblepodcast, which I'm not featured on.
Bastard.
Oh, yeah, that's the dark era.
Well, my little triangle and my circle button are getting sticky or whatever. And, so they're just wearing out. The thing's like 3 years old. But I'm looking, so I guess they sell the pieces. And, but the way the Vita is you can't just buy those 2.
You buy the whole thing.
It's the right side of the Vita, and it's not bad. It's like $13 or $14.
You're just scared to take it apart.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're at the point where it's becoming a hindrance to play it, correct?
Yes, and I'm also at the point where I've kind of decided yesterday that I'm going to try. Because I'm playing
you're just going to wear out the Vita and you're going to buy a new one anyways.
That's the thing, is I'm playing the Vita already less because it's bothersome. And it's either let's break this thing in an attempt to fix it, and then that's an excuse to get the redesign, or let's fix it properly and, then I can play it again.
I mean, it would suck if you break it, but you're going to end up having to replace it anyways. If you can't fix it, so
that's what I'm getting at. So yeah.
And people were probably sitting there wondering why I'm talking so much about a Vita.
Yes.
Because I've done the unthinkable. I've purchased one.
Yes.
Woo-hoo-hoo! So, and the main reason is that I purchased one is because this elitist prick over here can no longer say that he has all the consoles and I don't. Which, if you go back to last year when I bought the PS4, he made a big stink on, well, I still have a Vita and you don't. Because you have a DS, you have the 3D, I have the 2D. We both have Xbox Ones, we both have PS4s. We both now have Vitas. So, yeah, you're no longer elite. Elite status.
I still got cooler shit than you.
The difference is that I have the Borderlands bundle, the Slim.
Yeah, it's got the new spanky nice one.
So far, I'm enjoying it for what it is. I've spent a little bit of time on it this week, mostly playing Fat Princess. Mm-hmm. More or less like laying on the couch, TV's on, kind of doing one of these. Today, because I couldn't get it for free, because apparently I never put it in my download history, I bought Binding of Isaac, which I'll get to in a minute. The one thing that I hate about my Vita, and it's clearly different than his, is my X button is extremely close to that right analog stick. So much so that if I hit the X button, I end up grazing the top of the analog stick, which sometimes causes it to flick.
You get used to
it. And I mean, I don't have large thumbs either, so that was my one downside. The other thing is I haven't played anything that involves that back touchscreen yet. Like
10 launch games used it.
Which, I mean, I'm all right with, but I thought at least maybe like the interface would have had me do something with it or something, instead of swiping the front, I could swipe the back or something as I'm holding it.
No.
And I've also learned that my phone screen is bigger than the Vita.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that right there is bigger. Yeah. Which, I mean, isn't it? I'm not complaining. I'm not. Actually, I prefer it because it's a nice, good size. My hand's kind of already acclimated to holding this to play games.
So you're used to it.
Exactly. So it's not that, because I never had a PSP, back in the day.
See, I'm used to it for that as well. You'll get used to it. It's like every time when you pick up a new controller for the first time, it takes a couple weeks, and then it's all second nature, and you don't even think about it anymore.
So yeah, there was that. I'm also farther ahead in Fat Princess than Tony, if I may say so myself.
Vita's broken.
It's touchscreen. Don't let them.
So
don't wait. Fat Princess is a touchscreen game.
These are all lies and falsehoods.
That doesn't really work in your favor.
No, you're just lying at this point. Don't lie to our viewers. I mean, Jesus.
I'm giving it an honest try.
No, you're just lying.
I'm giving it an honest try. I said that I'm going to give myself 3 months with it, and if I don't like it, I'm going to get rid of it. I feel that's an accurate time frame.
Yeah. Whatchamacallit? So I'm playing some Far Cry with Andrew Dillon, as I alluded to during my thing, and I was telling him that this happened. I kind of spoiled
that I bought a Vita.
Yes.
Really?
And he screams into the microphone, "Bullshit!" Because apparently you will never buy a PlayStation Vita.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure I did say that at some point. I also, and I'm not, well, I guess I'm going to try to defend myself and justify it a little bit here. I wanted to, as I mentioned before, my PlayStation 4 is down here in the store. I live in the building, as to not give away my address, so I don't get swatted or anything stupid like that.
Do it.
I live in the building. The Vita, because it's on the same Wi-Fi network as the PS4, I can do where I can send stuff from the PS4 to the Vita and play the games like that. Mm-hmm. So I could literally be laying on my couch and playing the stuff that's on my PS4 down in the store upstairs. Mm-hmm. So,
yep. How's that work? Because I never done it.
There's lag. But then again, the only time I saw it was because I was down here and the TV was on, the PS4 was on down here. Obviously all I need to really do is leave my PS4 on down here, which I have it set to go into a sleep mode after an hour anyway, so it's not going to hurt. So if I'm upstairs and it's midnight, the PS4 is on down here. I'm sure I won't see anything then. And the other reason is because I have a massive, not nearly as big as Tony's, but I have a pretty big library of Vita games that they've given me for free.
Oh, library.
And what I said was that I would never buy a Vita for anything over $2, and that's kind of a lie. But when you break it down like this, I bought the Borderlands bundle. Borderlands itself still retails for $40. They gave me the 8 gig memory card, which I believe is another $20.
$20.
Okay, so in reality, I paid $140 for my Vita. Yeah. So that's my justification.
I think you're going to get $200 worth of entertainment out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so.
It's fun. I think people's thing comes in where they're like, oh, it's awesome because it's like a PS4 on the go, which now kind of can be with the connectivity, but that's not what it is.
No.
You got to understand that it's different. It's mobile gaming. It's handheld gaming. The stuff like I want to get into Unit 13 with you. That game's awesome. Same thing. It's like that's why I like it. It's such a great Vita game. It's like it's a third-person shooter like Gears, and the campaign's like 15 or 20 hours long.
Yeah.
But the way it's designed is you just play missions and you progress. And the little missions are like 3 to 15 minutes long. And you just sit there and play. And then like at any time when you're ready to stop, you're only 2 or 3 minutes away from the end of that little mini mission.
Not 45 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you just, like, hey, you want to do one more? Sure. It's only another 6 minutes. And let's go do that one.
Two of the huge selling points for the Vita were 2 very specific games. Obviously, I got Uncharted. That's not one of them. That's a bonus. But recently, I've started playing Don't Starve, and I really enjoy that game. Again, it's on my PS4. Yes, I know. I could put it on my computer and my laptop and blah, 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 blah.
That game's just made for the Vita.
But, again, I have it on the Vita. And then the game that I'm going to talk about now is the one that I've been playing almost as much as Grand Theft Auto, which, by the way, I am now level 76 and have surpassed Angry Andy in Grand Theft Auto.
Suck it, Andy.
Yes, it is official. I am the highest member of our gang.
Suck it.
So
I'm probably the lowest.
No.
Who's lower than me?
Oscar.
It's
4.
I'm like level 10.
Yeah, Oscar's 4. Anyways, the game, and I know I'm so super late to the party, but the game that I want to bring up is Binding of Isaac.
You're not really that late because
they just released it in November on PS4.
Well, because Binding of Isaac's been out for years, but this is Binding of Isaac Rebirth, which is like the equivalent of the Game of the Year edition with all the DLC and all the map packs.
It's also completely visually rebuilt from the ground up. It was based in Flash before, and they actually went in and redrew the entire game.
Yeah. It's a fun game.
Binding of Isaac is and I'm saying it, and I wish Moss was here. It is the best Legend of Zelda, non-Legend of Zelda game I have ever played.
Yeah, I know.
I literally play that game at least once every day since I put it on the PS4 3 weeks ago when they gave it to me for free. And yes, I've beaten Mother, I've beaten her heart, I have not beaten the devil or Isaac yet. I do have Azrael. I think I'm missing just Judas at this point.
Oh, you almost got your platinum then, huh?
I'm pretty far on.
Fucking hey, man.
I think I'm 7 playthroughs through where I've actually beaten it out of like the 70.
Yeah, yeah. There's a ways to go.
Sometimes there's a bad one. You're like, fuck it, die, start over. But yeah, that was one of the key catalysts because my girlfriend is playing Don't Starve religiously, and I'm playing Binding of Isaac. So I figured this gives us an option where if she's playing Don't Starve, which is a long game, even just to die once, it's a long game. I could be playing Binding of Isaac or whatever the case may be. Other than that, I've been doing GTA, as I mentioned. We did Fibbage. I haven't turned on my 2DS in a while. I go back and forth and do a little Hyrule Warriors at least once a week, or some Mario Kart. The Nintendo gets turned on at least once a week where I play something up until Isaac came out. The Nintendo succeeded my PS4, but now it's all about Isaac.
Yeah.
Other than that,
that's about it.
Yeah.
Longest roundtable in the history of the podcast.
No, we've done longer.
Probably.
Yeah, but if what?
I think we're like a half hour in.
We might be.
I can't see it. It says 20 something. Anyway, so that was going to be my thingy, but I forgot you'd kind of tail into it, so that works out well.
I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, I thought you were just going to say what you played, and I was going to be like, tell us about the Vita. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I thought it kind of worked out, though.
So, let's hop into some news.
Dirty, sexy, news.
We're good.
You're not going to...
I don't. I'm not Mark.
News. Oh, I'm Jason. News.
Whores.
All right. I don't fucking know. All right. So this one should be near and dear to your heart. So everyone who got a Halo Master Chief Collection before 2 weeks ago got their free Xbox Live month worth of gold 2 or 3 days ago. And I got mine, and I texted these guys, and this is an actual news story.
Angry Andy got his.
Okay. So I texted these guys. I'm like, oh, hey, check your guys' shit out. My free month came in, because they announced that they were going to give you the free month and
ODST
and all that crap. Yeah.
Avatar crap.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, hey, the month came in. I text these guys, and they're like, we didn't get our shit yet. Now everybody's just starting to trickle on, but yours hasn't yet.
Nope. Just another long line in the disappointment that's been Microsoft since the beginning of November.
What? See,
wow, did you just hear the phrase that I said? Just another in the long line of the disappointment from Microsoft since November.
Yes.
That came out of my mouth. I thought I'm supposed to be the Xbox fanboy.
Hey man, you gotta be realistic.
Look at I go out and buy a Vita now. I'm bashing Microsoft.
Yep. I'm converting everyone.
Tony Jr. over here.
Converting everyone little by little. Go back to episode 1. Everyone hated Sony, but this guy.
On episode 1. My
Anyway,
first episode was 3.
I'm converting everyone.
3? 9? 3?
3. I think your first episode was 3.
Yeah, because I brought the song.
About the song.
I remember letting you listen to that. We were in the Jeep. I played it on my phone. I'm like, what do you think of this? I was like, fuck yeah.
Let's fucking do it. This will work. All right, that was kind of shorter. I thought you were going to go into a little rant.
I'm going to give them some time. The Christmas stuff that they gave away, where everybody got something different, those kind of rolled out at a little bit different time.
So it might be over the course of the next week or so?
Yeah, if I don't get something in a week, then I'm going to bitch a little bit more.
Because I'm not even worried about the 1 month of Xbox Live. See,
I'm worried about not getting ODS.
Yeah, like, did your shit not register with their server where it doesn't know that you were one of the people that had it on time?
Yep.
Because that, like, a month of Xbox, like, fuck that. Who cares? We buy 12 months at a time for $50. It's like $5. Like, screw that. Mm-hmm. You want the maps. You want the game.
And I mean, I don't even care that much about ODST, but it's the fact that they said that I could have it for free. You know?
Did you not play it?
Yeah, I played it. But I thought it was the weakest of the bunch.
Probably.
Oh, look, where's the gun's in the fucking, up on the light pole. Took me 20 minutes to find the fucking thing. Just walking around.
The hunters were fucking crazy hard in that. I love that. That's why I loved it. I liked ODST so much because that's what brought on Firefight. Mm-hmm. So, like, after I beat the campaign, then it was just, like, insane amounts.
For me, I was already into Gears. And I'm like, fuck Firefight. Horde's where it's at. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
But I was like, fuck Firefight. Horde. You know?
I love them both. All right. Number 2. This,
By the way, this episode marks the return of, not quite his notebook, but Tony's notes.
Yes.
He's happy. Is there any doodles on there? There is.
Yeah, I'm doodling like crazy already, dude. Okay, so there's this company called Nintendo. Have you ever heard of them? No. Okay.
Some obscure indie Japanese company.
Yeah. Well, they make some of these products here and there, and one of them's called this 3DS.
It sounds so stupid.
So now they're releasing a revised version of it called the new 3DS XL, and it got a release date here in North America, and that is February 13th.
Just in time for Valentine's Day.
To tag up on that, same story. I'm merging 2 stories in one. I tucked them in together and let them make a little baby of news.
Go ahead.
It's not coming with a charger.
Nope. And their excuse is that because the charger is the same from the 3DS.
It's the same since the DS, the original fucking DS.
That people have a charger. That's their excuse. That people have a charger. Here's my
They're
issue.
Probably right, but you don't do that.
Here's the thing, right? You want to sell your new hardware, right? As this company named Nintendo. You want to sell your new hardware.
I think that's how you pronounce
it. To the biggest
I think that's
fan base that you can, right?
Yeah.
And your biggest fan base is your pre-existing customers, correct? From this company, Nintendo?
Mm.
Okay. So, I'm going to use myself as an example. Okay? I own a 2DS from this company named Nintendo. Okay? I will not keep a 2DS and the new 3DS. There's no need for me to have both of them.
The new.
So, what will I do with that old 2DS?
You try to sell it, but you can't sell it without a charger.
So, I can't sell it.
Well, you can, but not...
Let's say I'm going to a big box retailer that happens to start with a G.
Stop of game.
Yeah, red and white logo, little bunny as a mascot. They're not going to take my old Nintendo 2DS without said charger, so that I could pre-order the new Nintendo 3DS without a charger.
The old, new, old 3DS.
So I can't get rid of my old 2DS, while keeping the charger. But then, if I do trade in the charger with the system to get the credit to buy the new 3DS, the new 3DS doesn't have a charger because I'm supposed to keep the one from my old 2DS.
Would you have to buy a new charger for your new 3DS?
Exactly, which tacks on another $20 to the price point.
They're like $10.
Well, wait a second. The third-party new Nintendo 3DS chargers are like $10. If you want to go with a first-party new Nintendo 3DS charger, it's about $20.
Yeah.
Okay.
The singular new versus the double new.
Exactly. Which the new charger works for the old systems because it's the same.
It's the same.
So
all right.
There's my conundrum, and literally that because one of the stories that you're going to bring up is talking about the 3DS, the new 3DS, which I would be inclined to get a new 3DS because there's a specific one that's coming out that I want for an old game that was on the N64.
Number 3 new.
I'm not buying it because I'm not going to waste the money on a new charger when I have one for my old system.
All right, let's jump into it since we're dancing around it. Majora's Mask HD or whatever the fuck they're calling it for the new
3DS, but it plays on your old system.
Yes,
too.
It does.
And all it is a new version of an old game.
All right, it finally got a release date coming out the same day, February 13th, and it's getting its own special version of the new 3DS.
Without the old charger.
Without the old charger as well.
Now, wait a second. Hold on. Here's another problem, right? The new Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3DS doesn't come with the old charger or the new game that's made up of the remake of the old game.
For the old system.
Yeah. So it's just a new system with no charger, no game.
Fucking Nintendo. The console sold out in under 15 minutes on all avenues. Best Buy held back because everybody, it got announced that, just for argument's sake, it got announced at 8 a.m. Everybody put them for sale at 9 a.m. They were gone by 9:15. Mm-hmm. Best Buy didn't enter that. They held back till 2 or 3 p.m., released theirs, also gone in under 10 minutes.
Now, there's conflicting reports about how many are allocated to each retailer, and that there's a strong possibility that more of the new 3DSs with the old game logo on them will become available
for the new date of February 13th.
Yeah. So we're hoping that more will come around because we have a friend who runs a new website about an old game, and he usually buys 2 of the new systems when they come out for the old games. But he couldn't get one.
Because he probably wanted to play one and leave one in the package.
That's what he does, exactly, yeah. He takes one out of the box and he keeps an old one in the new box.
An old new one in the box. And then a new one for playing his new game.
So yeah, he was not able to get one anyway. But apparently there's a site out there, Play Asia, that's going to possibly have some available.
I mean, you can get them.
They're also jacked up insanely high on Amazon and.
Well, eBay. Last I checked, some people have them astronomical, like $600-700. It's like, yeah, fuck off. But some people have them. They're like reasonable. It's like $250 or $260.
Here's my thing.
It's like, I get that the guy wants to make $50.
Yeah,
he got in line.
When you look at it, okay. If anybody hasn't seen a picture of it, you can Google it or check it out on ZeldaDungeon.net. It's gold, which is what they did for one of the old systems way back in the day when they came out with the 3DS, and that was new.
They should have made this purple.
Should have been purple, or it should have been black and had a highly detailed version of what the mask looks like on it, because the mask is very vibrant in color. You know? It just doesn't make a lot of sense.
Could have had the old mask on the new game in vibrant colors.
And it would have felt new again when it's really old.
I mean, do we have to spell it out for you, Nintendo? Is that how you pronounce that company we've never heard of?
Yeah.
Last news story of the week. This is probably not meriting of being the number one position, but I don't care because we host the show, and this is the most important.
New news story, right?
It's the most important one to me this week, and that is that Forza 6 officially got announced at the Detroit Auto Show, which for American car lovers is the big one.
So there's a new Forza?
There's a new Forza coming
for
out.
The new Xbox? But now it's the old Xbox because it's been out for a while.
Yeah, but this is actually legit because it got announced at the Ford press conference. And Ford has this supercar that they built back in the day to compete with Ferrari called the GT40. And then it got re-released in 2005 as a GT40 update, whatever, 30 years later. And now they're releasing it. It's just called the Ford GT, but it's essentially the third version of it. So it's the new Ford GT.
New.
From the, yes.
The old car.
So, and that's going to be the cover car. That car actually looks sweet. I'm not going to start talking cars on this. It's actually a six-banger, but it's got a twin turbo and it's pushing out over 600 horsepower. Nice. It looks cool, and I don't.
Tell everybody about it a little bit.
I don't.
It ties into Forza. It's going to be their showcase car for the game.
I'm more of a General Motors fan when it comes to sports cars. I like the old Firebirds and
the old
and Camaros and Corvettes and stuff like that. But Ford's okay. They don't bother
old American muscle as opposed to new.
Yes. But what they're doing with this car is very impressive. It's actually the EcoBoost engine, which is like the one that's like half hybrid-ish.
So it's half new, half new, half old.
Yes. And it's pumping out over 600 horsepower with twin turbos off of a fuel-efficient engine that, if you drive it tamely, can actually get good miles per gallon.
Most of these cars look absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, this one's no exception, and it's the cover car.
I mean, it looks ridiculous. I mean, aesthetically, body design, and they usually go like over the top with when they bring these kinds of cars
this one's no exception.
I thought this one wasn't bad looking.
Oh, so you saw what it looks like? Yeah, it looks good, right? Sharp car.
That's the thing. It's like it doesn't look. It doesn't look overly gaudy.
Yeah.
I think that's what I was trying to get at. Like when they brought back the Thunderbird a couple years back, and it's like, what the hell is that thing?
Yeah.
It looked very phallic. Look at it again. Look at a side view of the car. Or even like the Cadillac XTSs. With their very sharp lines and everything. This thing, it has the newer aerodynamic body style, but has that older car feel to it. Yeah. And just the general design of it. So that's I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I actually like it. Looks good. Yeah. Looks real good. So, I mean, the game was inevitable.
Any new news on the release date for Forza 6?
No, but I can guarantee it is the second Tuesday the third Tuesday in October, because that's when every Forza releases every year.
I was hoping for new November.
No, it'll be October.
So not
November's gonna be Halo.
So new November's Halo. Old October is Forza.
Yes. It was inevitable. Forza's coming out every year, even though they whatever. They alternate now between the Horizon series and the game propers, and
you don't have to wait 7.5 years
like Gran Turismo. And this is also a big deal because it's the first time in history, not that a video game company, and this should excite everyone, whether you're into car racing games or not, or cars, even if you don't care. This is the first time in history that like the game developers and car manufacturers have made deals in the past, like oh hey, do you want us to sponsor, like Porsche made a deal with Forza a few years ago, well after the game came out, because Porsche never licenses their vehicles out, and they gave the rights to Forza, and it came out as DLC later. And of course everybody has to give the rights to this. This is the first time in history for both that our hobby, video gaming, and my other hobby, automotive, came together to truly announce together. They announced arguably the biggest racing game in the world together with one of the biggest automotive companies, revealing a completely new vehicle that surprisingly didn't leak. Nobody knew about that. That car came out of nowhere. And they both got announced together on stage, and it was like nothing like that's ever happened.
The game or the car, neither of them got leaked.
Yeah.
Like we obviously, like
we
knew
coming,
Forza was coming.
I guarantee you next year Forza Horizon 3
I don't
is
think
coming.
anybody was expecting it to be revealed when it was,
Yeah.
as opposed to E3 in June.
Well, the Detroit Auto Show is a big deal.
Yeah.
For the domestic brands.
Yeah.
GM, Mopar, and Ford. So, yeah, that's news. News. Come on, Jack. Like steak machine.
That's an old song. I'm into the new songs. Well then, I guess it's time for Okay.
All right. Oh God. Is it time for?
Lykios sent in a question to us. It says, "Hey guys, first, do any of you watch TYT, The Young Turks?"
TYT? What the fuck is that?
That stands for The Young Turks. I'm not familiar with this at all. Is it a TV show? Is it a movie?
Never even heard of it.
Is it a YouTube thing?
No idea.
Sorry, Lykios. Secondly, are any of you planning on getting the new 3DS? I already said that I'm not planning on getting the new 3DS because then I don't have the charger from my old 2DS to use on my new 3DS. And then even if I get the new 3DS, I can't get the new version that I want, which is of the old game. And it doesn't even come with the new version of the old game. I have to buy it separate.
These are the new conundrums that you have to deal with when you're talking about the old DS versus the new DS.
Yeah. So how about you? Any plans on upgrading at all?
No. Here's my 1.5/2 years later with the 3DS. I'm glad I have one for when stuff like Majora's Mask, the game, comes out and I want to play it. That thing's on like once every 6 months. This game will come out. I'll beat it over 3 or 4 days ago, or over 3 or 4 days.
No longer than that.
Whatever, a week, 2 weeks, whatever. And then the thing's going back in the drawer, and I'm not going to turn it on for another 6 months. So for me to go spend another $200 to play something I never play, no way.
If down the line some of the new 3DS exclusive games come out and have an appeal to me, then maybe I'll upgrade.
I'm surprised they're even announced they even making this new 3DS. It's about time for Nintendo to bring out its next iteration.
Yeah. And that's part of it. Maybe this one is, because you know how like the Vita was like the segue between the PS3 and the PS4. Maybe the new 3DS is the segue between that.
I'm talking about their new handheld.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
Maybe this is because it's got a stronger processor. It's got IRC support for the Amiibos. It's got the new C-Stick over here, and it's going to have exclusive games that are going to use that higher processing power down the line. So, I mean, again, it's that old Nintendo adage of why fix it if it ain't broke kind of deal. There wasn't a big jump from the DS to the 3DS other than 3D, So, again, maybe this is just the natural progression of it. But I'm not buying it until there's something that forces me to buy it.
It's true.
Like if it works with the next Nintendo console as an extra controller or something, then maybe I would pop on something like that.
Little hand finger off like this.
Unbelievable. Another one of Lykios' questions is, do any of you guys go back and play any old games on like the PS2 or GameCube?
Okay. I play a ton of old games. I find for me personally, the absolute hardest generation to go back and play is PS1 and 64 for me. Everything prior to that, I love because it's feel
sprites. It's picked, it's hand drawn characters and stuff.
So it's fine.
That transition into 3D
into those ugly ass polygons, which blew my mind when they first came out. It is the hardest generation. Not even that, but most of the games that I remember loving so much, the Turoks and the Tomb Raiders and stuff like that.
Even Super Mario 64 is tough to play. Like, go back and play. Control-wise.
Yeah. I think that's one of the... Yeah.
But, I mean,
saying,
trying to use that not quite analog stick, and then the up
that
C,
blurry,
down C, left C, right C, and then you're holding it like this and turning it upside down.
The new way.
No, that's the old way.
You know,
my hands weren't new to fit all around the controller.
A lot of those games had those atrocious tank controls, and like they were fine when you were playing them all the time, and that's how you knew how to play.
Yeah.
But when the worlds expanded into 3D and there was a different, smarter way to control your on-screen character, those other ways just seem so archaic.
It would almost
add on to that I haven't used them in 15 years, and then you go back and try to use them again, and you're like, they were bad back then, but when you were used to it, and now that you lost the ideals behind it, it's even worse.
Like, it would be like going back and I'm going to take Tony's Android away from him and give him a Motorola Razr. The primary functions is still there. He can work the phone. He can make a phone call.
Yeah.
How hard is it going to be for him to do anything else on that damn thing? You know what I mean? Like, because technology has been so updated and it's so simplified now. You know, I run a gaming store where we carry a lot of older things here. So every once in a while, I get to play something that's kind of old, and I'm just like, oh. You know, like that's the exact reaction. Like you were with me when I was playing Super Mario RPG. Granted, that was an emulator, but I was even I played it with a PS3 controller. Luckily, you know, instead of trying to play it with those older controls, even though that was a Super Nintendo game, you still kind of get where I'm coming from.
I still when I get newer than that, I still do play that stuff. Equally as much right now, the PS2, Dreamcast, GameCube era is getting not quite as bad, but it's getting
Some of them are a little.
It's getting pretty darn close to as bad as I felt about PS1, because they're just now it's 2 generations back, and those games were a lot of fun, and there's a lot of great ones, and I'll go back and play them. But sometimes, unless it's a true gem, and there are some true gems out there, there's been hundreds throughout video game history, but something that you may have remembered as a pretty good game is probably just better left to nostalgia. That it was because unless it's a truly breakout amazing title, most of the games just don't hold up.
Yeah,
it's just clouded judgment and nostalgia, and then you go back and try to play them. Something you really loved from 10 or 15 years ago just isn't very good anymore.
He's been playing Metroid Prime. He uses an example. I think that's one of the few that'll still hold up.
There's tons of games that'll, you know, I'm talking out of the 100,000 video games that have been brought to consoles over the years, 1,000 of them are easily great, but or fine to play nowadays. But you know, I'm saying there's a lot of other ones that you'd remember as something like pretty good nowadays, like a Wolfenstein that I just played now. It's great shooter, amazing. Is that one of the games I think in 15 years I'm going to be like, oh, remember that Wolfenstein: The New Order on PS4? Hell no, it's largely forgettable. And that's what I'm saying.
Even like a Far Cry 4, which
exactly. I'll always remember it as a very good experience, and I had a lot of fun with it, and it's a great game. But in 20 years, I'll be looking back at, you know, like Uncharted 4 as the games that stand out.
He also says that he really missed us guys doing this each week and taking questions and stuff. Again, we're kind of on a 2-week schedule here now. We're going to try to stick to this as close as we can. While we have Tony available, obviously in the spring, summer, it gets a little bit more difficult for him to be here. But we're trying to plan ahead for that and cover our bases the best that we can.
We got a lot of cool, sneaky things planned.
Yeah, we do kind of miss taking the questions and stuff. That's why I brought it back. I laid off of them for a little bit, trying new things. That's how it's always going to be with us. Like we've said, we're always going to try new things. We're going to find what works and what doesn't, and kind of just continue to modify from there.
The thing with questions is, I think after
what's new is old.
Yeah.
So.
No, what was old is new.
No,
again.
I said it my way. No.
I think the problem with the questions is they were so good for so long, but after a while they were just like, even for you guys, it felt like kind of forced, and it was just like when you guys have a question, send it in and we'll answer it. Don't feel like you have to, because we don't want boring stuff to talk about either. You know,
and if we don't get a question for the week, that leaves us to think on our feet and fill in that time with something that we may have tried otherwise.
Yeah.
So again, it's not. We haven't heard from Andrew Dillon in a while, which has been great. No offense to Andrew, but it gives us it gives us time.
I told him about that Pokemon thing, dude. Now he's just been talking mad shit.
It gives us time to try some new things, and then when we do have Andrew back, which we're talking about having him back on here in the next couple of weeks, it'll be something fresh and vibrant and new for us again. That's what I meant by that.
Time out. Speaking of which, Andrew Dillon, this is a perfect time to... Or are we not ruining the surprise?
Go right ahead.
Okay. So, I've been talking to Andrew actually a little bit earlier today via Xbox Live messaging from my phone. We want to do a big episode, I think, in 2 weeks.
We're not going to say 2 weeks, but 2 episodes from now. So, episode 140.
Okay.
Because we don't know our exact time frame.
Because we're a little late this year, we realize that, but we have our annual predictions and recap from 2014's predictions. So he's our official bullshit checker. He said he's in. We're going to do a Skype episode with him. You got to get a hold of us and let us know what Sunday's best for you, good sir, so we can kind of plan around that. And then you got to get the 2014 list ready, and you get to do the grading. I don't know if you remember. I think he did it last year for us, right? And he got to pick how many.
He did it for our E3.
He got to pick how many points we got for every category and stuff. And we're going to come up with our 2015 predictions. And that'll be
episode 139, because that's going to be 140. So that 139 is going to be our annual Game of the Year awards.
Yeah, and we're
bringing back the goatees.
We're trying to do something like last year was so much fun.
Yeah.
But now I feel like we put the bar too high for ourselves, and it's like
we really overproduced last year.
Like, what are we supposed to do now?
I don't even know if we're gonna wear suit jackets again. I don't know.
We did I want to, but we did it already. It's like it's been done. Like, what the hell do we do to one up ourselves? Yeah. That's the problem with putting on a great show, people. So what do you do the next time? Yeah. Because now that is the bottom.
Now we know why the VGAs fell out.
Yeah, that's probably why. It's just like, what do we do anymore?
The last question from Lykios.
Time in.
Okay. I'm going to let you answer this first.
No.
And I know you're not a fan of the game, but I want to see what you can name from them, from character-wise. Okay? So you can't just say none. You have to answer something, whichever one pops into your head first. Okay? Lykios wants to know what our favorite Pokemon are in the following categories.
Pokemon?
So you're going to do your best to name something that sounds like a Pokemon.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay?
Got you.
So I'm going to say, what is in your opinion, the cutest Pokemon?
Oh, that's Purple Snorkeler.
Okay, Purple Snorkeler. The one that you would love to train?
Oh, Red Fire Breath.
Okay. The one that you would love to have as a pet?
Oh, that's a tough one. I'm going to go with Bubbles Magoo.
And, that's it. There's 3.
I can legitimately name 2 Pokemon.
Okay.
I only know 2 Pokemon.
Name the 2 Pokemon that you...
I know one because he's the kind of the figurehead.
The mascot?
If you will. Yeah, Pikachu.
Okay.
And when we did Tony Plays Pokemon, I know the one that I was playing as. And it's not even the one I was playing as. Charmander,
yes.
Okay, that's it. That's every Pokemon I know out of every Pokemon ever. I know 2.
I don't know when we're going to do it, but what we're going to do on a future episode is I'm going to pull up pictures of all 151 Pokemon.
Oh, and I can just make up names for
Tony's going to Tony's going to name the original 151 Pokemon.
Oh my God, let's do that tonight. Bubbles Magoo. Someone is getting Bubbles Magoo, I assure you. That is going to be one of the blue fluffier ones.
That's our questions for the week.
Yes.
You can send us questions in at ForwardCompatiblePodcast. I'm sorry, to ForwardCompatiblePodcast at gmail.com.
No.
Gmail.com.
Okay, let's. I think we're getting about that time. But this topic's not going to take that long anyway.
We bought a new camera.
Yeah,
it
we're
doesn't
gonna
matter. We're allowed 90 minutes of.
But I got
know.
stuffs that needs.
Yeah.
Because we're late today.
Yeah.
Okay, Tony's top. Tony's topic of the week. All right, so PlayStation Now came out officially. It's been out for almost a year in beta, and they were trying out different things and different pricing structures. But the real legit PlayStation Now launched 2 weeks ago,
something like that.
Only 2 pricing tiers. I know Jason's got a ton to say about this, and I'm going to go pee. And I'll be right back to help him out, and I'll listen from there closely because I'll leave the door open and I'll kind of show you what I'm doing and stuff.
Yeah.
And
I hope the camera picks it up.
1 month's $20, and 3 months is $44.99.
Yeah, my initial concern let's start with what they showed us in beta. What they showed us in beta was individual prices for games with you can rent them for a couple hours up to 90 days, and the prices were absolutely insane. We're talking a few dollars cheaper than going out and buying the game brand new or pre-owned, whatever. Some of them were more, yes. Now that they've released their, we'll call it their Netflix subscription model, I think it's ridiculously overpriced for $20 for a month, or essentially $45 for 3 months, and the fact that they did not give us there is no year option, which there should be, and B, no type of incentive and or discount to PlayStation Plus members. Those are my big concerns with this.
Yeah. With me, I'm also upset by the no yearly price, because that was the big stinger for me, because like even PlayStation Plus is a rip-off. The same thing with Xbox Live Gold. That's just the way it is. It's and EA Access. They're a rip-off when you buy a month or two at a time. That's just the way these things work. But the thing is, on the other side, is when you buy in bulk, you're supposed to get it way cheaper. So yeah, maybe it's $20 a month, which would equate to $120 a year. No, $240 a year. I can't do math. But when you buy in bulk, like even before a price cut or anything, instead of that $240, it should be like $150.
I've got some numbers here for you really quick.
Yes. You gonna hit me with some numbers?
$180 a year.
For what?
It's right now what you pay for PlayStation Now. $180 a year.
I don't pay anything for
No, I'm saying like that. You take 3.
If you were to buy 3 at a time. If not, your maximum's $240.
No. Well, that's what I'm saying. All right. So best case scenario is the best case scenario right now is $180. Then I don't know if I'm accurate on it, but I believe you need to have Plus on top of that.
I don't think you need to, but you'd really limit yourself without Plus.
So let's go ahead and add that in. You're at $230 a year just in subscription fees from Sony.
Take into account. Well, no, let's keep going.
Okay.
Then there's another $60 a year for Xbox Live Gold.
Oh, you're saying like if you have all of them?
Which we do.
All right, 60.
And now you are a proud member of EA Access.
30. And who doesn't have Netflix nowadays? They're $7.99 a month times 12. So we'll go 8 times 12 is 8 times 12 is 96. So we were at 320 plus 96.
That's what you could essentially spend.
$416. On top of that, I'm going to personally add an additional $120 in there because I am a subscriber to the WWE Network, which is $9.99 a month.
Yep.
I am at $536 a year
if you were to get
for EA Access, PlayStation,
Sony and Xbox,
and Netflix, and WWE.
It's crazy talk.
And that's not even including the price that I pay for my internet. to run all this.
I said it from the very beginning, and I stand by it. They're too high.
Yeah.
I said it before pricing models even came out. What they're gonna want to do is get as close to $10 a month as possible. You'd get it if it came out at 11 or 11.50 when you really did the math, but $20 a month is too much.
Way too much.
And what it should be is $10 a month. This is my opinion, which would equate to $120 a year, or $100 if you buy the year in one lump sum, and maybe $90 if you're already a PlayStation Plus member. They give you a little, here's an extra $10 off.
10% off.
Now, $90 annually, I feel, as a PlayStation Plus member, is a good price for what they're giving.
For the library of games, yes. A lot of people complained when the WWE Network came out that, because they also did it with a 6-month commitment. So essentially, you paid $60 for 6 months to get it. That's more or less that they wanted to cover the cost of WrestleMania. But people say that $10 a month is too much for the WWE Network. But when you look at the library of content that they have available and the back catalog, it's reasonable.
I think,
So now,
as a non-wrestling fan, I think the WWE Network is the third greatest deal in recent memory.
okay.
As a non-wrestling fan, I think it's truly amazing. Doesn't WrestleMania cost like almost $100?
$65.
And how much is it annually for this thing?
On WWE Network, it's $120. So
Wait.
now, considering that, let's say just based on, we're getting way off topic, but based on the Big Four alone, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series.
It's probably a couple $100, right?
65 times 4, 260. Now, if you go, let's just drop it down to 60 times, there's one pay-per-view a month, $720.
And people used to get them all, right?
Yeah, I did at one point. $720.
So it's a great deal for people.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's an amazing deal. I don't know how people would say it's a ripoff.
Back to Sony. Much like the reason I brought it up, much like the WWE Network, they have this vast library readily available of older titles.
The problem is nothing's up yet.
Yeah. Well, even what they have,
They only have like 100 and something games available, which is a crazy
that's
amount
what I'm saying.
of games.
Is at the let's go with your theory. I pay $100 a year for PlayStation Now. With the 120 games that they have available, I'd be happy at the start. There's enough there to keep me busy for the next year. Enough worth of content that I can play one game
a week,
realistically, and still have enough to play. Just based on the fact that they have Sam & Max, Back to the Future, all the old Telltale games are available on there. I'd sit there and play those. That would be enough for me. But not at $50, which again, I'm rounding up, $50 every 3 months.
Yeah. The other thing
It reminds me of $599 US.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, like, in their defense...
Or when they announced that the Vita was going to be available through mobile providers, through 3G for AT&T.
AT&T and everything.
It's the same... It's like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
You're going to change it to fit us anyways. Just do it now.
Yeah. That's the thing, is I don't think this is going to get super popular at the price model, and I'm pretty sure it's going to come down anyway. The thing is, this is going to depend if they are taking a Netflix approach or if they're taking an EA Access approach. And what I mean by that is Netflix doesn't matter when you sign up because there's a constant revolution of content. Every month they add 30 or 40 titles and they take away 30 or 40 titles to compensate. So it's always changing. So if you sign up too late, you miss this stuff. It's like PlayStation Plus. If you sign up 6 months later, you miss those 6 months.
This is where EA Access has the vault, and they said that the vault will always be there.
So if PlayStation Now is a vault type system, where in 2 or 3 years, it's like 700-800 games where they're adding PS1 classics and PS2 classics and PS3 classics, and maybe by that time, some of the launch PS4 games, like Killzone or something, that by that time will be 2 years old and it'll only be $5 on a bargain bin anyway. But the fact that they're starting to get PS4 games on there, and all of a sudden this starts looking more and more enticing, and if they get the price down and down and down and down,
then
this is a big deal.
And then they can bring it up a little bit.
Yeah. The thing
like
is,
what they did with PlayStation. Didn't PlayStation Plus start at like 40, and then they've raised it or something? No, that was Xbox. What they did is they made
PlayStation's been the same price
Yeah.
since day one, $50.
Yeah, which they could raise it up $10 now, and nobody would bat an eye.
Yep. Well, the internet.
Yeah, but they'll bitch till they're blue in the face.
Thousands will
do
bat
it.
an eye, but they'll
But then they'll do it.
Yeah.
My thing is, and I find it very funny that with you mentioned EA Access, and no, they're not very comparable. EA Access has 7 games, gives you 10% off any EA purchases, and you get the games 5 days early. But when they went to Sony with this deal, Sony said, no, you have a bad business model. And right now, personally, from where it stands right now today, EA Access is the better deal for me than PlayStation Now. You see, oh my God, EA did something right.
It to me it depends. Like this can explode. Like, do they bring this into the hand?
Totally.
Do they bring this into the handheld market? Like,
It's on Vita.
No, it functions on Vita. But will they add Vita games?
Oh, yeah.
Will they add PSP games that you could play through your Vita? Are they going to add PS1 and PS2 and PS3 and 4 games to play on the PS4?
I got you.
Or is it just, these 100 games mostly from PS3 work on your PS4 and your Vita?
Yeah.
Where are they going to go with it in the future? That's right now, I wouldn't recommend this for anyone.
No. Speaking again, and I don't mean to keep derailing it, but I had a buddy call me today before I met up with you, and it's, hey, what's the newest Battlefield? Is it 4? I'm like, yeah, why? He goes, well, I want to pick it up. I was like, dude, stop, don't. For one, the new one's coming out this year. And whatever. But I'm like, Battlefield's still like $40 to buy it brand new.
Okay.
I'm like, dude, you need to sign up for EA Access. Even if you only do it for a year. You're going to get Battlefield, you're going to get Need for Speed, you're going to get UFC, you're going to get Madden. You're getting like 6
Plants
games.
vs. Zombies, all
Plants
that
vs. Zombies. Yeah, I don't know if he'll play, but I mean, I'm appealing to what he would play. I'm like, for $30, you're getting like these 5 games.
It's a far better deal.
Far better deal. Far better deal.
Not to mention it goes on sale all the time.
I've so many times, and since I've had my PS3 and my PS4 and now my Vita, I was even looking earlier today. I want to like PlayStation Now. I go through the list of games and looking to see what they have, and I'm just like, oh, like I said, Back to the Future's on there. Sam and Max is on there. This is on there. That's on there. And I just when I think I'm going to do it, I look back at that price again. I'm like, can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do
too
it.
much money.
Honestly, in the past week, I've almost signed up 3 times for it. And then my better judgment kicks in and goes, don't. They're going to screw you now. Wait until they realize their mistake and then jump on.
Mm-hmm. When they lower it a bit, I'll probably jump on.
Wow.
The people I can see this best catering to is, I wouldn't want to call them like a casual, but maybe someone who got into it late. Like, say, or someone who lives in a really small apartment or doesn't like to collect or anything, where maybe you just got a PS4, you're not a huge gamer.
That's what's been, like, there's so many that I missed off PS3 during the PS3's life cycle.
Well, you have access to PS3 and the hard disks, like I can borrow them to you and stuff like that. I'm talking like legitimately a person who, like, I know people who fell off from gaming and came back. They took 5 or 10 year hiatuses from when we were children, and now they're starting to get back into it and stuff. Now that's more mainstream. And for people like that, maybe they pick up a PS4 and they don't really want to buy any games. Maybe they pick up like a bro gamer, like a Call of Duty and Madden every year, okay? And then they don't really care about playing online, so they don't get PlayStation Plus, and then they're like, well, this is kind of cool, and because they don't have a catalog. Like, for me, I have so many fucking games where it's just like, if I have something like that, it just makes me more depressed. It's like, wow, look at these other 100 games I'll never play because I don't have time to play the ones I already have.
Yeah. That's a prime example of what you just described with my buddy who called me earlier today. It didn't get...
For somebody like that, I think, or like even with Oscar. Oscar was kind of out of gaming for a while, and I picked up an Xbox One, and he's all back into it, right? Mm-hmm. If he had decided to go with PlayStation instead of Xbox, this might have been something perfect for him. It's like, here, dude, maybe just get this. You don't have to commit to $60 games. You buy this one package for $45 every 3 months. Just play what you'd like. I can recommend. Be like, hey, this is good. This is good. Play these. Play this.
Now, since we're really cutting it close on time, I'm going to throw a question out to you. When do you think they're going to change the price? how long does it take before they realize their error?
6 months.
Give them 6 months, which would put us right around E3.
Oh my God! It's almost like I planned that out. E3, PlayStation Now price cut.
I'd be very close to agreeing with you on that.
Because they're going to wait and feel it out for a few months.
Yeah.
They're not just going to all drop
exactly.
it.
They're not going to like drop it next month and burn the people that did buy it.
Well, I don't think they burn them. I think the people that are going to buy it, it'll be like, we kind of... that's the other reason. I'm not really blaming Sony. Nobody did this. There's no like, oh, hey, look, Microsoft's charging this, so that's around where we want to be.
There's no set business model I agree with, but there is other streaming services out there that they can still
kind of look at what works. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So before we wrap it up, and I'll let you outro in just a second, I've got a challenge for our listeners out there because I think it would be kind of fun and kind of interesting. I will give somebody, not next week, but the week after, a shout out if in the comments below somebody can tell me what this symbol on my hat is.
Fuck, I don't even know.
So that's my challenge. What is the symbol on my hat? You'll get a shout out from me.
All right, that's going to do it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. This has been episode 138. I'm going to say it again because that's the way you do it. Thanks for tuning in. Catch us next time.
Next week. Same time, same place.
Yeah, but I don't know if we're doing...
Next week we are doing an episode. It's Game of the Year next week.
No, it's the other one.
It's the Royal Rumble!
Shut your face!